Okay, so the March 15th Christchurch Mosque shootings sent shockwaves across the world, left the Muslim community shattered, of course. And now a film is in the works looking at the Prime Minister's leadership following the attack. What does the Prime Minister think? I think she's just the reluctant participant here. Good morning to you, Prime Minister.
Good morning.
When did you first find out about this?
The day before the announcement, so it's the evening, late afternoon before. I think they might have contacted the Ministry of Arts, Culture and Heritage as a courtesy, and I was informed via them.
Right.
So,
and your initial thoughts were?
The same, much of the same sentiment that you've heard from others. You know, that it felt it feels so raw for all of us still, but
too soon, isn't it?
not least the community. And also, my other reaction was at that time I was just told generally a film. When I saw in more detail what it would likely focus on, my view was that, you know, yes, there are stories to be told from March 15, but I don't consider mine to be one of them. I consider the stories that need to be told to be those of the Muslim community.
Is it appropriate to make a movie about this, about what happened? Full stop.
Oh, well, actually, again, I think it's for the community to determine whether or not those are stories that at some stage they want told or not. But as everyone said, now feels very raw for everyone. And again, I'm deeply uncomfortable by where the emphasis is.
Yes. Are you so uncomfortable that you will sign the petition to stop the movie? Because there's a petition.
I do. So my view is that it's not my job. I mean, everyone would be pretty outraged if I tried to stop movies generally that I didn't like being made.
But you can take a stand, though.
And I'd like to think that I am. And no one will be under any misconception about my view on this. I've shared that I've not been involved at all. I've not been consulted at all. I have a very strong view around whether or not this is the right time, but not least that actually the right story.
Should they review what they're doing here?
Well, they'll hear my view, but I hope more than that, they hear the community's view, because it's about them.
Well, if they don't change, will you cooperate?
I don't think that there's been any suggestion of a need for cooperation. As I've said, I haven't been asked about it and haven't been consulted on it. But I hope most of all, Duncan, that it's the community that people listen to here.
So given that you have such a strong view on this, because you clearly do, why wouldn't you sign this petition that's going around to stop it?
Well, a couple of things. I generally tend not to sign petitions because I'm part of the government. I'm meant to be the ones that I hear people on these things.
You might hear, but the
second point is I'm making my view known, but I still don't think it's my job to tell movie makers what they can and cannot make. I am a minister of Arts, Culture and Heritage, so I need to be careful about that.
So freedom of expression is important. Freedom of expression is important.
I've taken a view, and everyone will have an opinion on this, and my hope is that those opinions will be heard. But personally, for me to, tell people what they can and cannot make in filmmaking, I draw a bit of a line on that.
Right. Okay. EVs and this finally the incentive that's come forward. Good on you. Do you think they will make $3,000 on a second-hand imported car?
Yes, second-hand.
Yeah, second-hand imported car. So let's say it's $20,000. It takes it to 17. Still pretty expensive for most New Zealand families.
I think the point. So a couple of points here. We're not the first to do this. Many other countries have, and the impact has been significant.
Huge.
A 20 to 50% increase in uptake of those vehicles where we've seen discounting. So we know it makes a difference, and New Zealand is lagging so badly behind on EV uptake.
It's been poor, hasn't it, our EV uptake?
It has.
So why didn't you do something earlier?
Well, we've done this now, Duncan. We started the consultation process when we were last in office. And actually, we've made changes since then. So what was first consulted on is a bit different to what we've said we want to implement now. But the second point is that actually 8 out of 10 of the most popular imported used vehicles will either have no impact or will receive a discount as a result of the policy. So for those who say it won't affect or it will have a negative effect on lower income families, that's what I would point to.
What about the people that buy the expensive electric cars? They won't get the benefit of this.
So
they care about the environment.
We've kept it out at 80,000, and the reason for that is when you start buying a car over that price point, you're less likely to be affected by the price point.
No, no, but 8,000. No,
and I don't
disagree.
think
No,
I
disagree.
don't think that's an unfair assumption to make.
But why
Duncan.
shouldn't they get the same benefit for caring about the environment as others?
Because they're probably in a better position to be able to pay for it at that point. We're talking about vehicles that are more than $80,000.
But if you're buying one for 85 grand, you get 10k off it. That's not bad.
But there is a whole range of fantastic EVs that sit below that price point as well. So it is about us just trying to be smart about the way we're applying
those people
this.
also probably to pay more tax, more income tax. So they pay more income tax, yet they don't get the benefits of a lower tax when they do something right for the environment.
No question that if we'd applied it at over 80,000, you would have come down hard on us.
I would have congratulated you.
No, I know you would have taken the alternate view. Look, you've got to draw a line somewhere. That was one of the changes we've made. The other is that you cannot get a discount for a vehicle that doesn't meet a certain safety rating. So we don't want to incentivise unsafe cars.
What the utes, these Ford Rangers and all these utes, and they're really going to be targeted here, aren't they? It's the tradie tax.
So there are certain vehicles, like there are certain vans actually that you are able to purchase that aren't affected. We absolutely acknowledge with utes at the moment the market is not meeting the needs there. So two things I'd say. This doesn't affect any vehicles that are currently in the New Zealand market. It's only those that are being newly imported. So the second-hand market isn't affected, so people can still purchase utes within that market and be unaffected by this. The second point I'd make is we're hoping the next 12 to 24 months, the likes of Toyota are talking about bringing in EV utes. My hope is then that people might delay their purchase in order to start building a market in New Zealand where you can access those kind of vehicles, because it is a problem.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I just wealthy people value money as well. And like, if I went and bought an $80,000 car, and took one for the team, because I don't really like EVs, but if I took one for the team, for the environment, I'd value my little rebate.
Well, so then if you value your rebate, then you're more likely to get one that comes in at a $60,000 or $70,000 price point, and you can still do that. You can still purchase a vehicle and get the maximum discount, but we've got to make a call here as to whether or not at that upper end, whether or not you're as affected. There is actually a Tesla that comes in under that range, so there is a vehicle that is captured by that, but we have to make a call as to whether or not in that upper end you are as affected by price point.
And you'll review this in a year's time too?
We will keep looking at the fees and rebates, because the whole thing pays for, essentially, is intended to pay for itself, and so we will keep looking at where they come in and where they cut out.
Professor, would you dine alone in a restaurant? Dine alone. This is our poll today. I thought I'd ask you this on the way out. Have you dined alone? You probably do a lot, do you?
No. If I'm out on the road and I'm staying in a hotel for the night, I'm more likely to eat in my room under those circumstances. I don't.
You don't people suspiciously who eat alone?
No, not at all. I admire them, actually. I admire them. I've seen people before sitting down with a book, having a lovely meal, and I think, good on you. I'm a little less inclined to do that.
You probably couldn't. You'd have every Tom, Dick and Harry coming up against you. You've got bodyguards who are standing nearby. As soon as you stop being Prime Minister, you'll be, thank God.
Oh, look, I certainly will have, I certainly have plenty of breakfasts on my own, but I'm usually there with a paper next to me.
Well, the AM shows. Would you like one more last laugh before we go? Because I think that might have been the first time. Is it the first time you've seen Mark?
It was the first time. And just to explain, I don't know if this helps at all, because you'd attached me with an earpiece, so it meant that I got in surround sound, that little squeal in my ear. Yes. And it just... Sorry, Mark.
Don't apologise.
I'm sorry.
Didn't realise I could sing a falsetto, did you?
No, I didn't.
Professor, please enjoy this for one last time. It won't be the last time. I'll never say last time, but
no, I'm going to put it on in the car again.
Goodness me.
Let me play it again one more time so you see the back get thrown back.
This is probably one of the most...
It was actually quite elegant.
No, it wasn't.
No, just that it was a...
Here we go.
Here we go.
This angle, I thought was it was a full pirouette. It's like it was
There's definitely some athletic ability associated in that. Without a doubt.
You keep believing that.
Yeah. And thank you for the birthday message you sent Mark as well. I know that.
Happy birthday.
Yes, yeah. Send my regards to John, was it?
John.
Yes. Yeah, is it really John?
No.
Exactly. That. Minister Jacinda Ardern, appreciate your time on the programme this morning, sponsored by Mark Richardson. We're 6 minutes away from 8 o'clock.